and my name is Yula, and today we're gonna read The Magic Tree of Merlin Mission 12 Eve of the Emperor Penguin, and today we're gonna start reading at chapter 2, Lots of Ice, and then we're reading in chapter 3, okay? And now already read this one book with a lot of stories, and now here we go. And first you can read is The Magic Tree of Merlin Mission, book 12, Eve of the Emperor Penguin. Chapter 2, Lots of Ice. Welcome to Antarctica, said Annie. Jack and Annie were bundled into the cold weather gear. They both wore snow pants, gloves, boots with spikes, and thick red parkies with hoods. Goggles covered their eyes, and the wool mask covered with their mouths and nose. A hiker's backpack had Wrestler Jack's own pack. Jack felt troubled by the gear, and he pulled his mask down under a chin and pushed his goggles into his forehead. Annie did the same. Their breath made the clouds mist into the freezing air. It's really cold here, said Jack. The wind stung his bare face and made their eyes water, but he kept his mask and goggles off as they looked out a window with Annie. The treehouse was on the ground. It was tucked under an overhang of an ice cliff near the ocean. Seawater sparkled into the sunlight. The shore was silent and desert. It looks totally empty out there, said Jack. I still don't get how do we find into the cave of the ancient crown here. No king or no queen ever ruled in Antarctica. In fact, no people ever lived here at all until explorers came to ancient times. Jack, let's get started to try to figure it all out, said Annie. Not so fast, said Jack. He pulled off his glove and opened the research book. At the first chapter, he read aloud. The continent of Antarctica was coldest, driest, windiest place on Earth. Larger in area was the United States. It is the land full with the ice and ice cliffs and icebergs and ice ships and ice shelves. Okay, lots of ice, said Annie. Got it. Let's go. In a minute, Jack, keep reading. But in Antarctica is not always a land of ice. On ago, the part of the subcontinent scientists have named Gondwana of the forest, flowers, and many animals, including of dinosaurs, but no people ever lived here. See, said Jack. No kings, no queens, no crowns. Yep, let's go, said Annie. But Jack, keep reading. Over millions of years, Antarctica broke off the realm Gondwana and drifted of the south. Okay, I'm drifting now myself, Jack, said Annie. She climbed out of the window and disappeared from the treehouse. Jack looked at the back of the book, but before he could read the further, he heard Annie with the woof laughter. Oh, wow, Jack, come look, she yelled. What is it? Said Jack, closing the book. You won't believe this, said Annie. You have to come to see. Jack put his glove bag and pulled out his backpack. He followed her paper, and Morgan's remark put his pocket, and in clutching the research book to his chest, he climbed out of the window. Jack followed the sound of Annie's laughter beyond the treehouse. The frozen seashore of the group of penguins and grown-ups and babies. The grown-ups have orange streaks over their cheeks, puffy white chest, and the back wings are held straight by their sides. The babies are fluffy balls of the gray fuzz. All the penguins are waiting, thought Annie, as they rocked from side to side, talking funny with the snaps. And Jack was burst out of laughing. The big penguins looked like a community of the little man in the back suits. The group stopped into the front of Annie and squirted at her. "Hi guys," said Annie. "Glad to meet you." The penguins stared back at their friendly crusty. "They're so cool," said Jack. He pulled the book and found a picture that looked like a group of penguins around it, and he read, "Emperor penguins are the tallest and heaviest of the penguin spice, are also most ancient, over 3 feet tall. Ground penguins can weigh up to 90 pounds. Researchers say the penguin closest ancestors to live into the 40 million years ago." 40 million years, said Jack. "So what time have we gone back to? 1,000,000 years ago? 1,000 years ago?" "I don't know," said Annie, "but I will take a picture of them for a family project. They look like a little family, don't they?" She pulled her camera out of his pocket and made at penguins. "Smile, everyone." As Annie took a picture, a shadow moved over the ice. Penguins squeaked loudly as they closer together. As Jack and Annie looked up, the shadow belonged to the giant bird circling above them. The bird was a brownish gray long back, and it let out an eerie cry. "What's that?" Annie said with alarm. "Look up," said Jack. He flipped up through the pages and looked at the photo. "Here," he said quickly. Giant turtles are vultures of Africa. They eat dead birds and animals sometimes. They even attack young seals and penguins. "Oh no!" cried Annie, and Jack looked up. The petrel was leaving towards the penguins, the smallest one with the wing half swooped back to the air. The penguin have scurried and waded away from the group. The petrel was straight wide, leaning and dove again. "No!" Annie cried. The petrel swooped away, but circled back toward them. Jack dropped off his book and scooped back at the handful of a snowball. Before he could throw it, the petrel attacked again. Jack kicked the small penguin fell off his knees and threw his arms around a fluffy little body. Annie stared at the puddle. "Go! Get out of here," she said, waving her arms. The petrel crowd, but rose high into the sky and disappeared over an ice cliff. Jack led to the small penguin and stood up. The penguin peered and waggled ahead at Jack. Jack laughed. "You're welcome," he said. "Now go back to your family. Go." He shooed the penguin back to the group. "All of you guys back to the water now. You'll be safer there. Go, go." The penguins squirked and flapped their wings and saying goodbye as they waded across the shore, taking a quick, tiny steps toward the sea. One after other, they dove between scraps and a little ice until they disappeared. "Bye, guys," said Annie. "Honk," said. "What's that?" said Jack. "Honk, it sounds like someone kind of harm," said Annie. "That's weird," said Jack. "It's coming from here." It's coming from there," said Annie. Jack picked up the book and followed Annie at the side of an icy slope. A metal spike of its hoots is dug out of the ice and keep them off the sleeping. And when Jack and Annie reached up the top, they looked down. "Oh man," said Jack, "we haven't gone back in time at all." Chapter 3, Short Grown-ups. And tomorrow we start reading in chapter 3 and then we're reading in chapter 4 or 5. Or we're gonna take a new beginning, new stories. But maybe we're gonna start reading in chapter 3 and then we're reading at chapter 4 tomorrow, okay? Now, did you have fun? You left English country, we come back with some Facebook, but Not the story, because it might be a new chapter to read, okay? Now, bye-bye, everybody, and please thumbs up my YouTube. Bye-bye, everybody.